Today on CCX News, our interview with local Representative Mike Freiberg, the chief author of the End-of-Life Options Act, why he believes it has good chance to pass this session. The bill is shaping up to be one of the contentious of the upcoming legislative session, with strong views on both sides of the issue. This weekend in Newsmakers, our Shannon Slatton sat down with Freiberg to talk about the bill, how it works, and how it has worked for other states.
Well, to begin, tell me about this bill that you have coming up this session.
Sure. Well, it's called the End-of-Life Option Act. I've been the chief author of it for 8 years or so. It's modeled after a similar law that's been in effect for about 25 years in Oregon and is in effect in 10 states plus the District of Columbia. So it's a proven law and it's proven to be effective. It basically says that if you have a terminal illness, meaning two attending physicians say that you have 6 months or less to live and you have mental capacity, then they can prescribe to you a medication that you have to be able to self-administer, and that will bring about your own death. So it's not a light bill, it's not an easy one to talk about, but I've heard from so many different Minnesotans who either have loved ones who've gone through a very painful process at the end of their life, or they're going through it themselves and they just want to have that option. Yeah, it's a really important bill. I've heard from a lot of people who support it.
All right. Why do you think this session is the one where it's going to get traction?
Well, we just had a hearing on it last Thursday. In the previous years, there have been a couple informational hearings where they don't actually take a vote on a bill, but this was actually a real hearing. It passed out of the Health Committee in the House. So, nothing is guaranteed in a legislative process, but I do feel like the chances of it passing and becoming law are certainly better than they've ever been before. We've passed legislation that emphasizes personal autonomy, the reproductive rights, and so forth, and I think this fits well into that bucket of laws.
All right, very serious issue with passionate people on both sides. Do you expect it to get a lot of attention this session?
Yes, based on the reaction to the hearing we had on Thursday, there was certainly a lot of media attention. It's definitely generated a lot of discussions, and I've heard from a lot of people about it since the hearing as well.
All right, and I guess can you have your remark on how do you think this session is going to go overall?
I think it's going to go well. I mean, it's a shorter session than last year's. We passed the budget last year. The even year session is typically a bonding year, so hopefully we can pass a robust bonding bill that invests in infrastructure around the state. I'll be busy carrying legislation for our part of the Northwest Suburbs, as well as things that affect the whole state, like the End-of-Life Option Act.
All right, we'll be watching to see how it goes. Representative Mike Freiberg, Golden Valley, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.